I love street food, and it's what Urban Rajah is all about. It's all about delicious living and tasting little nuggets of life. And I remember when I was a kid and we used to go to my Uncle Albert's house, or Uncle Abu as we know him. Him and his wife would disappear into the kitchen and we'd have a huge family get together. There'd be cousins, uncles, aunts, brothers, sisters, and we'd all gather around sail-like sheets on the floor and we'd eat together. And what would come out of the kitchen would be tray upon tray of kebabs, vegetable fritters, and the thing that would come out that I absolutely adored were these little slipper-shaped lamb minced kebabs called Chappli Kebabs. That's what chappal means, slipper or slipper-shaped. And these lamb minced kebabs would be jam-packed full of ginger, chili, onions, coriander seeds, cumin seeds, and leafy coriander. We're going to take 1 onion, goes into our blender. Got about 10 centimetres of freshly peeled fresh ginger, really zingy stuff, fantastic. That goes into our blender as well, but we need a little bit of heat, so we're going to take about sort of 5 green chilies. So those will go combined with our onions, with our ginger. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of coriander seeds. They give off a really lovely citrusy scent. Unlike the coriander leaf, the seeds have got a sort of a citrusy kind of zing to them. We're then going to take a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds. Sprinkle of salt, a little bit, and then we're going to add a bunch of coriander, about a really healthy palmful of really crisp, verdant coriander, and that all goes into our mix. Now that is going to pulse and blend. And what you've got is you've got kind of green looking onion, obviously coloured by the coriander, and it's really fantastically fresh, scented. It's got a little bit of kick of chili, and we're going to combine that to about sort of 750 grams or so of lean lamb mince. That'll make you about you're looking about sort of anywhere between 24 to about sort of 30 lamb kebabs, and that's going to be great as a starter for your dinner party. The great thing about these kebabs is once you've made them, you can freeze a few of them. In goes our mix. Now I use gram flour. You can use eggs, but I tend to use gram flour because it dries out the mix a little bit, so it's not making the mix too wet. So about 3 tablespoons of gram flour, and that all goes in there. And I'm going to add about almost a teaspoon of garam masala. And what you want to do is you want to get your fingers right in there and mince all of that lamb, the coriander, the whole spice as well, which is now kind of a little bit broken down in the blender, and get your fingers right in there. And the secret to this recipe is that you want that mix to go into the fridge, and it's going to be in the fridge for about an hour. And the reason that we put it into the fridge is because we want that mix just to solidify a little bit, just get a little bit harder, so that when we're shaping it, before it goes into the pan, it doesn't fall apart. So we've got our lamb mince for our Chappli kebabs that have been in the fridge for about an hour. And what they've done now is this mix has kind of got a little bit firmer, and you need it to do that so it doesn't fall apart in the pan. So what we're going to do, here's a little tip. Take just a little bit of oil, rub it across your palms, and what happens is when you're making the lamb mix of the kebabs and shaping the kebabs, it doesn't stick to your hands. So take little sort of pieces, almost kind of like walnut sized pieces, and we simply do this. Shape them into little balls like that, and then we're just going to flatten them in a second once we've made a few with just the heel of your palm. Really simple to make, quick to cook, And I defy you to eat any less than 5 or 6. I guarantee you, you're going to come back for more. We just flatten them with the heel of your palm. They cook a bit quicker because they're a little bit flatter, and they're easier to eat actually, easier to pick up. So now we've got our little slipper-shaped kebabs, Chappli Kebabs, and you want your frying pan at a nice medium-high temperature. One of the things that I do to check the temperature of the oil to make sure that it's hot enough is I use a couple of cumin seeds. And when those cumin seeds are fizzing around in the pan, then you know that it's hot enough to cook. So those cumin seeds are now fizzing away and you can start to hear them pop. So we're just gonna slide in our Chappli Kebabs. And they really need about sort of 3 minutes or so, 2 to 3 minutes or so on each side. And I'll flip them over fairly quickly, and the reason I'm going to do that fairly quickly is because they'll seal ever so fast in this hot oil. So we're just going to flip them over. I absolutely love them, and they turn even the most abstemious diner into the biggest glutton. I defy you not to devour them. Chappli Kebabs. It's the taste of the streets of the Indian subcontinent.